All right, joining me on the program right now is Dr. Sadiq Gombe, who is the Secretary General of Arewa Initiative for Good Governance. Doctor, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Give me your own take on this whole CJN drama.
Okay, Mr. Deji, the CJN drama is really quite unfortunate. You know, Nigeria is such a country that is very funny that when you have issues, we take to emotions, sentiments, political affiliation, and what have you, which is not supposed to be so. And the saddest thing is that the political class and the elite always go around their emotions, sentiment, or political affiliation to mislead the masses or the general public. Whereas when they are conniving at the topmost level to either steal or sabotage the process, they doesn't look through these emotions, either they are regional, religious, or ethnic. So I don't see why, when there are issues, rather than looking through the issues as a nation and see how we can leverage on it so that at least it will help us toward developing our processes, be it political, judicial, economic, or whatsoever. Unfortunately, you find out that in Nigeria, anytime there is an issue, people tend to forget the substantive issue and go around to hide behind these sentiments. And this is what is taking us back anytime in this country. So I think it's very sad. The issue is, yeah, the CJN, there are some allegations against the CJN that he did not declare his assets, that the CJN maintained a foreign account as a public officer. So if there is an issue, I think what does it take in a public officer whom the CJN is, a Nigerian, that the CJN is? So whatever the case, people should look at it from the point of view that yes, this is a public officer, and in fact, the #1 judicial officer of the land. So if you are the #1 judicial officer of the land, you're supposed to know the law better than any other person as far as the law of the land is concerned. So if there are issues, there is nothing wrong in asking the CJN to answer the issues, because the onus of proof or otherwise on any other issue reside with the accuser, who is the CJN. It's the same thing to do with the Senate President or even the President himself, though the President has immunity. Well, by the way, unfortunately, these are our laws. The CJN doesn't have an immunity. It's a public officer. There is an allegation against him. So there is nothing wrong in him answering the allegation. But what interests me is that I have rather started to see hope, particularly when I read through some of the issues raised by the chairman of MBA Ondo State, where the chairman MBA Ondo State said, yes, the reactions here and there across the country, be it on regional or religious basis, they are not part of law, because the issue is that they are only based on sentiment and emotions. Whereas he went ahead to say that, yes, the CJN is a Nigerian, is a public officer, but there are allegations. And these allegations are substantial, and this allegation has to do with the code of conduct of a public officer who the CJN is one of such. So to him, there is nothing wrong about investigating the CJN. And I think it's very good, because this is somebody from the South who is a fellow Christian and so on. So he didn't talk to sentiment. He looked at the issues through their merit. And secondly, he went ahead to say, one, people are talking about the independence of the judiciary is being cautioned. Rather than understanding it from this point of view, there are two issues. The independence of the judiciary is different from the independence of the Chief Judge as a person. He is a symbol of the judiciary, but he's not the judiciary.
But what do you have to say about the issue of timing? Because that's one
yes,
thing.
Secondly, they say the issue of timing.
You know, that the timing.
The issue of timing,
is wrong.
as per
it's just few weeks of the general elections.
The issue of timing also was raised. What I want to say about the issue of timing, I think if there will be any allegation, you cannot do anything about something until it crop up. So if it is now that the things crop up, I think we should take it from that point of view. Yes, it is not last year that they discovered this. They went through some processes of investigation to ascertain whether to them they have an issue to raise, particularly when there are issues to be raised against a high-profile officer of the land or the chief judicial officer of the land. So definitely they have to go through a lot of process. So to me, people should not look at it from the point of view of the timing. To me, if I'm in the position, I will even celebrate the timing by the ruling party. Because if the ruling party will not mind or care about the timing and as insensitive to the timing and decide to go ahead with it, fine. To an opposition, this is even a flaw because it will help the opposition if it is political. You're looking at it from the political point of view.
Well, what do you make of the position of the governors? I mean, basically asking the Chief Justice not to even answer to the summon of the Code of Conduct Tribunal.
Yeah, to me, I think it doesn't sound well of them as leaders. They should look at themselves not just as leaders of the as governors of South-South. This is an issue bothering of the 36th state of Nigeria as a nation and FCT, a bothering of the #1 law officer of Nigeria, not a law officer of the South-South. If anytime there are issues, people will take to sentiment of regional basis or religious basis to say we are fighting this. I think it's very sad. To this end, I think they should learn from their northern counterparts. When there are issues to do with the Suki, who is from the north, who is a grandson to Amfodio, the northern governors did not come forth to say we want to defend him. When there are issues to do with Babachir, the northern governor did not come to say that. When there are issues that Lawan Dawara was sacked, the northern governor did not come forth to say we want to defend him because he's a northerner. So I think our southern counterparts, South-South counterparts, should learn from that. It's not healthy for our polity. It's not healthy at all. And they are not being because they want to rule Nigeria like any other person. So they have to show that they can rise above vote, they can rise above emotion, above sentiment. Allow the process, the law to take its course. There is nothing that will stop the law from taking a course because it's a chief judge. Or even if it is the president. The only thing that will stop the president from being investigated is the law itself will make him to have an immunity. So I think on this ground, I think the action by our South-South governors, to me, is not healthy for our nation. If there are issues, either political or otherwise, Southerners say they decide to go one way, or Northerners decide to go one way, we won't have a country. Let's assume we have an election. Our Southern brothers decide to vote one way, or Northerners decide to vote one way, we won't have an election. We will sustain our unity if we vote on religious basis also. We won't live at ease. Right, so I think the earlier we shunt this kind of sentiments, the better.
I've been speaking with Dr. Sadiq Gombe, who is the Secretary General of the Arewa Initiative for Good Governance. We'll take a short break now and we'll be right back. On Deji 360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the Constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent. Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment so that you can make the right decision and take action. People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country.
I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly.
God forbid that I go to join that
Deji 360, providing clarity to issues.